hi everybody. We are driving. Obviously, we're not painting today. We're gonna go to the mall to this one store, and we decided to do a video while he's driving. And so the video is just gonna be about me asking him questions about my disorder and how he deals with it and stuff like that. I had gotten some questions from some of my friends, so we're just gonna go from that. But the first question for you, Mr. Adam Dubberly, it's gonna be...
Whoa. No last names. No, I'm just kidding.
Our channel, it's after your last name.
I know.
So. Anywho, so the first question is, on the last video, you mentioned that you already knew that I had bipolar disorder. How did you come up to that conclusion before I got diagnosed?
Well, when I first met you, you didn't really have a whole lot of signs of it. You were pretty much happy all the time, and whenever we were together, there was really no depression or, what's the word I'm looking for? Episodes, there we go. There was really no depression or manic episodes or anything like that, so I didn't know at first. But your family basically, they were like, well, has she had an episode yet? Has she gotten really, really mad at you yet? That kind of thing. And at that point in time, no, I had never experienced any of that. But, as time went on, I started noticing that you would be really happy one moment and then completely just depressive, sad next. So then there were times like around the holidays where you just get really down, and like we would be with my family on like Christmas Eve or something like that, and you would just be really, really depressed. So, I mean, that right there is understandable because, you weren't with your family, and I can understand that. But the switching from happy to sad, that was kind of what gave it away. So, like, I would wake up in the morning and you'd already be mad at me, and I'd be like, I just woke up. But yeah, that's kind of how I knew. And then when they told you, hey,
how was it for you, like when I got diagnosed? Like what were your first thoughts? Or
I just kind of like, I was listening to what was going on, and I was like, huh, that makes sense. So, and I in a past relationship that I was in before, I kind of had like a panic moment because I've dealt with it before, and that relationship, as you know, obviously didn't last very long, but it was something that I wasn't very happy to deal with at the time. But I think now that I'm more mature, this is like 8 years after that previous relationship, so I think now I'm more mature. I know how to deal with it a little bit better, and you bring a hell of a lot more to the table than anybody else ever has, so.
Okay, so let's see, next question. Oh, this is my friend Daisy actually asked this question. How do you deal with it? Or like, what's the best way for you to get me out of an episode?
To make you laugh. So, like,
the cheerleading stuff.
Okay, so I was thinking of another time that happened a little bit more recently, but I can't really say that on YouTube. But anyway, so she was at work one night, and she started getting an anxiety attack, and she texted me real quick, and she was like, hey, I'm getting really bad anxiety. And I was like, you can overcome it, baby. You can overcome it. Just picture me in a cheerleading outfit, cheering you on, skirt and all. And she started, like, it took her a minute to see it, and I was like, that's really funny. Like, you can't tell me that's not funny. Picturing me in a skirt, come on. And she finally read it, and she started cracking up. She was like, I can't deal with you. And it went away.
Yeah.
As long as I can make her laugh, she's fine.
What happens when I have a really bad depressive episode? Like, how do you deal with that? Like, when I just break down and I cry?
The only thing that any decent person would do is just to be there for you and hold you.
This is the school zone, sir. $400 ticket.
Okay, anyway. We'll cut that out of the video. I don't need the cops showing up at my house and giving me a ticket for no reason. Well, for that reason, but you can't prove it. Anyway, so when you have a really bad like depression episode, is like the only thing that any really decent person would do is to just be there for you, hold you, and just let you cry. Just let you do what you're gonna do, and eventually, just I have to reassure you and everything like that. Just let you know everything's okay. She has this weird fear that I'm gonna leave her just because I don't want to deal with it anymore. That's not gonna happen, but she still fears it. So I have to sit there and tell her, don't be ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. Stop being ridiculous. And if I can make her laugh in those instances, then it does work, to a point anyway. Because sometimes when she has really, really bad depression, nothing I say or do can make her laugh. It's hard. But that's basically how I deal with it. And, sometimes we'll just cuddle up in bed and I'll just hold her real tight and tell her everything's going to be okay and I'm not going anywhere. And she just does her thing. She cries it out, and eventually it passes.
And it's just like like out of the blue, I just like start feeling really, really sad, and then I start crying, and then I just go like, once I know that it's coming, like let's say I'm in the living room, and you notice this a lot, and we're watching TV, we're together, whatever, and then I just get up and go to the room. He knows something is happening. So after like a couple of minutes, he will come into the room and just cuddle with me and like tell me everything's okay. And sometimes they do last longer than others. Like the last one that I had, it was like 45 minutes. Like, was it like 45 minutes or so?
It was a bit, yeah.
And I just told him like I just wanted to be alone. I just wanted to deal with it and let it pass. So he went back outside, and I just stayed in the bed and whatever. And after I was done, I just went back outside, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And he's like, do you want to talk about it, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, there's nothing to talk about. Like, that's why I think that's one of the main things that he like, it's like, oh, let's talk about it. Like, how are you feeling? And he's like, sometimes it's not even like about something happening or something bothering me. It's just, I just feel sad.
Well, that's not exactly true, and you know it. So
most of the time I just like,
you overthink.
Yeah,
that's your problem. So guys, like, okay, so there's this one time she was in this depressive episode that lasted days. It wasn't like no minutes, no hours.
That was bad.
Days. So I was driving her to work, and I noticed that kind of thing. Like, I noticed that she was acting differently. She was being really quiet. She wasn't like getting anywhere close to me. Like, I was surprised she would even sleep next to me, to be honest with you. So I was driving her to work, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Like, what's going on? You need to talk to me now. So sometimes I have to put my foot down because she will not talk to me. She won't like let me know what's going on. And I have to damn near force her to talk to me. So I finally talked to her, and honestly, I was thinking about calling her sister and being like, hey, you need to speak to your sister and figure out what's going on because she's not talking to me. But I talked to her, and we figured some things out, and we got it all taken care of, and then she cheered up after that. So as long as we can talk, we can get through it together. That's the biggest thing. So if you're married or dating somebody that has bipolar disorder, be patient with them. Sometimes you do have to put your foot down, and if you do put your foot down, then just be nice about it. Don't just be a complete douchebag or anything like that. But if you can talk to them and try and understand where they're coming from, that's the biggest thing too, is to understand. You have to understand where that person is coming from. And as long as you can understand, you'll be okay. But it can be very difficult. I'll tell you that from experience. But you know, we're still together. I'm not going anywhere, and I think we're doing pretty well. So, well, anyway, next question.
So I know, like, a lot of people know, like, when family and friends, they know that you don't want kids, right? But I do. How do you feel about that? Like, we talked about it already, about having a kid with bipolar disorder. I do have a friend, though. I won't say her name, just, but she got diagnosed when she was like a kid, and she said that it's not that bad if you get it treated, like, you know, at the right time, I guess, like as soon as you
if you catch it early,
yeah,
and you start getting the proper medication.
Yeah, so she said it wasn't that bad for her. So we got some, like, insight on that. Like, we were able to talk to somebody who got diagnosed as a child. So that kind of, like, gave me a huge relief on having kids with bipolar disorder. But how do you feel about that? Like, having kids and all that stuff?
Well, I mean...
I'm sorry, I'm getting sick thanks to my coworker. But anyway.
I mean, first and foremost, I just want to put out there that I don't want kids, not because I'm afraid that they're gonna have bipolar disorder. That's not the thing. That's not, like, the reason why I don't want kids. I just don't want kids at this point in time. I might change my mind later. I've been having a lot of back and forth, but anyway, that's not part of the question. But if we were to have a child with bipolar disorder, as long as we were able to catch it, like, you know, get them diagnosed and get them the proper medication that they need and everything like that, then I don't think it would be that bad. But...
And you would know the signs. I will obviously know the signs. I have worked with children before, so I know, like, different disabilities. So in that sense, like, I think, like, we'll be able to do a really good job regardless.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be able to, because I'm really attentive to people's emotions. So when it comes to, like, her and her flip-flopping back and forth, sometimes it's definitely something that I notice, and it's something that I'd be able to notice in a child as well. So when it comes to having kids altogether, you know, that's another topic for another time. But having a child with bipolar disorder, I honestly don't think it would be that bad. We just have to be good parents and just make sure that they're taken care of and they get the help that they need. So as long as that's true, then I don't think we'll have any issues.
There was a cop, that's why he slowed down. Anyway,
not that you guys can see that I slowed down, but yeah.
Let's see, another question. Ooh, how do you deal with my aggressive episodes? When I get, like, super mad at you, like when I'm, like, mad.
Well, to be honest, a lot of the time that those are my fault. She gets mad at me for things that I don't do, rather than do. But I just kind of take it. I mean, I get mad sometimes too, because she'll just sit there and blame me for things that have nothing to do with me. Or, you know, it's just things that I can't really have any control over, which sucks, because she does say some pretty hurtful things sometimes. She can be a real monster when she wants to be.
Not when I want to be. It's just like, it's not that I want to be mean.
When she gets aggressive, she can be pretty mean, and
those are my manic episodes.
I'm pretty, like, I don't want to say that I'm, like, emotional, but I can be pretty sensitive sometimes. So when she says certain things, it sucks. Like,
but I feel like lately, like, I've been able to catch myself. And I'm like, I'm sorry I said that, or I'm sorry that I'm acting this way. Like, I'm just having an episode.
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, again, it's not like I'm gonna go anywhere. I'm not that kind of a guy. I don't sit there and just be like, well, she got mad at me, I'm done, bye. You know, I don't do that. But the biggest thing is, you know, I have to sit there and try and like understand what's going on, and sometimes it can be really hard for me to understand. Sometimes I have to get up and just walk away for a little bit and collect my thoughts and just be like, okay. So, and then that also gives her the time to, you know, come out of it and you know, realize what she's saying and doing. And then, you know, I come back and we'll talk it out a little bit better. And then, you know, it's not that bad. I mean, there are some times where it does get pretty bad, but.
And it's just honestly just my fault. Like, unfortunately, like, the episodes really take, like, or the emotions really take over, and it's my fault. And yeah, like, honestly, like he said, I could be really mean, unfortunately.
Okay.
But he takes it really, really well, and he knows that I don't mean most of the stuff. I have told him that I don't want to be with you anymore, like, I'm done, blah blah blah, out of nothing, like, seriously, like, out of nothing. And he's just like, okay, well, there's the door, and I'm still here, so obviously he knows I don't mean it. But yeah, let's see, another question. I don't know, do you have anything else to say?
I mean, the biggest thing is if you need to, if you have a loved one that has a disorder like this and you want to take care of them, or if you're married to somebody like this, or, you know, whatever the case may be, if you have somebody like this in your life, please just be understanding. And if they don't have the help that they need, get them the help that they need. Because understanding on its own is not going to do much.
Like, seriously, like, get educated about it. Like, that's the main thing. Like, even if you don't have anybody, like, you know, even if it's a friend or a coworker or whatever, like, read on it, you know, like, if you see them crying in the bathroom, like, don't just be like, oh, they're being dramatic. Like, that's, I think, like, the most hurtful thing that could happen. Like, my birthday weekend just happened. My family were here, whatever, and we went to the mall because they were gonna buy me some stuff. Like, we went to Forever 21. He bought me some jeans or whatever. But I was in line with my sister, and my sister was like, I need to go to your house, whatever, and do something. And I started freaking out because I started overthinking about being late to my mother-in-law's house because she was gonna do dinner for everybody. I started freaking out, so I was like, just drop them off and then let's just go. Like, just drop them off and let's just go. And then my sister, like, turned around and she was like, you're so effing dramatic. Or no, she said, you're so effing extra. And that hurt a lot, like, a lot. So I started crying in the freaking line, and I mean, he was just like, it's okay, don't worry about it, like, you know, it's gonna be fine, we're not gonna be late, we still have a lot of time, blah 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 blah. And what sucks is that I had to be the one apologizing, you know, for having an episode, which is not okay. I don't think it's okay, you know, but I don't know, some people don't really know how to deal with it, you know. Like, I don't live with my sister, we don't live in the same state, we do have a relationship, we talk here and there, but she's not with me when I have my episodes. So she, you know, I mean, she has been with me my whole life, but still, it's different. Like, now that I know what I have, I think I'm a bit more sensitive to comments, and that's what makes it, like, more hurtful. Like, I have told, like, my family, it's like your mind attacking yourself, like, yourself. It's like my own mind attacking me. Like, I remember, like, we got out of Forever 21 and we kept walking. We're gonna go to, like, Victoria's Secret, I think. And I just started thinking, like, you know, like, she's not gonna, because she doesn't really, like, I think I'm triggering myself. I want to cry.
Calm down. It's okay.
I was like, like she doesn't really come to Vegas often. So I was like, you know what? Like she's not going to come anymore now that she, like, because I'm being mean to her. I'm just being extra or whatever. So, like, sorry.
Well, so your sister is...
I love her, though. I love you if you watch this video.
Yeah, she's a really, really sweet person, but she just, she wasn't understanding what was going on in the moment. So, I noticed it because I saw her start crying, and I'm like, hey, what's wrong? And she just told me, she goes, I'm getting really freaked out that we're not going to get to your mom's house in time and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, babe, it was like
2 hours.
2.5 hours, 2 hours before we had to actually be at my mom's house.
I thought it was way later.
And I was like, honey, don't worry about it. We'll have plenty of time to get there. All we have to do is just stop by the house and let your dear do let her sister know or do what she has to do, and then we can just go, because we don't live that far from my mom's house anyway. So I was just trying to calm her down and everything, and it worked. She stopped, but that's because I understood what was going on. Her sister didn't.
Yeah, I feel like she was like mad throughout the whole time, and I was like, I'm sorry I had an episode, and like I feel like her, like, I don't know, like she changed. Like, I guess she was just mad, and I don't know, I don't know.
She got over it once you apologized. She didn't stay mad at you the entire time.
But see, that's the thing, like, I don't know. But anyway, but I love you. But yeah, so unfortunately, like, now dealing with it's a bit more difficult. The medicine, like I said, I am taking medicine for it. I started taking my bipolar medication for my depression and my bipolar disorder. So it's like we were talking about it on the other video. Like, there's some days that are really bad, which was only the first day that was really bad. I get depressions here and there, but like episodes, but they're not that bad. But it's scary because I've been really good lately, and it's scary to me because it's like, okay, I'm like right here, and it's like I'm feeling so well. Like, the downfall, it's gonna be hard. And that's one of the things that I talked to one of my coworkers, that she understands me because she does have the same thing. So we're able to talk about it, and I do, like, thanks God, he's bringing people into my life that have the same disorder. So I'm building like my own little support system kind of thing. And I do have him, I have my family, but I try not to talk to my family about it too much, because I feel like they don't really understand like he does, or like my friends do. So yeah, but if you guys do have another question, or you guys have anything else, I do want to say thank you to my Facebook friends who commented on the video and learned a lot from my other video. Is this one right here? Mm-hmm. And I do hope that you guys are learning something and that you guys are taking something from this. Not everybody is the same. I do want to say that. Obviously, what I go through is not what my friend goes through or my other friends goes through. We're all different, but we're able to relate to each other and help each other, and to talk about it and stuff like that. So yeah, I do hope that you guys will take something from this. I know our episodes are called like painting with Ale, but obviously we're not painting today.
Yeah, we just decided to do the video
while driving.
Mall,
yeah.
So thought it would be a good time. But that said, we'll do another painting video probably this week, and we'll find out another topic for you guys so that we can have a topic of discussion.
So one of my friends asked me that we should do one of how we met each other.
That would
that's
be
interesting.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting.
But
Yeah, so we'll probably do that. We'll do a painting with Ale, how I met your mother kind of thing, you know. Although
Anyhow.
we don't have kids, but you know,
we have fur children.
yeah, we have 2 puppies. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a good one. And
Thank you so
remember,
much for watching.
be understanding.